Yes, we've only gone and done it. It's a great day to be a Rangers fan. What a result, what a performance, what a difference. Now we'll get into the key differences as the video goes on, but let me just warn you that at this current moment, someone who's not very far from where I live is having some sort of miraculous bonfire display. So if you hear loud banging in the background, well, I can only apologise, but hey, if there was ever a day to let off fireworks, today would be that day. Because Rangers victorious over Hearts in a 3-1 victory in that 90 minutes was radically different from so many of the 90 minutes that we've already witnessed this year, which have been quite gruelling to watch. They've been boring and stagnant, but today, no, for the first 10 minutes, honestly, I was engrossed in the game. I could see that the players were full of energy, they were willing to go forward, they were playing fearlessly, they were playing wee 1-2s in and around the Hearts box, they were opting for the long ball that it was on, they were getting people in behind, they were causing Hearts all sorts of problems in the first half. Danilo had a couple of chances, but we see that Lammers was up there supporting, never had a great game, albeit, but Seema was getting in there, Cantwell was getting in there, John Lundstrom played his part, Ryan Jack played his part. It was absolutely more than pass marks for every man in that park all round today. It really just shows you what you can do when you've actually got a half decent manager, somebody that can man manage, somebody that can set his team up and get them to play a style, an entertaining style, an attacking style. Because if we spoke about on the podcast, we know that Rangers' best form of defence is attack. We need to play in the front foot. We need to come into these games with a willingness to dominate the opposition, to not let them start to pin us back, but rather us pin them back for honestly the entirety of the game if you can keep it up. And that's what you can do if you've got a deep squad and you've got players who are on the park and they're willing to work their socks off to a man. I mean, you can just see the difference since Clement has been in the door, and I've been no, it wasn't going to be an overnight job. No, this is something that's going to take, a while to implement, but I think today of all days was the first day where we've seen clearly what Clement has changed since he's entered the scene. Like I say, we see the utilisation of the running in behind. Danilo, although he was a lone striker at times, he was supported by those behind him. He was supported by the likes of Seema and the likes of Cantwell and Scott Wright when he come on. I mean, what about Scott Wright? What can we say about Scott Wright, who's a solid 3 out of 10 when he starts a game, but when he comes on off the bench makes a massive, monumental impact, especially at Hampden. I mean, I think this meme right here sums Scott Wright up. It's unfortunate as well because I can see in Scott Wright that he does have the talent, but there's some players that just make more of an impact off the bench, and look, Scott Wright is our super sub. But let's talk a wee bit about that goal. I mean, it was a great goal, but it all comes for the midfield where we intercept the ball, it gets drilled straight into Danilo, who doesn't panic, who realises that Scott Wright is out there, so he doesn't turn and have a half-arse shot for the edge of the box. No, he takes a touch, slips him in, and Scott Wright finishes calmly, coolly, along the ground and into the bottom corner. That is what you want for your sub, and look, I know we were all surprised when Clement brought Scott Wright on for Cantwell at half time, but look, it worked, so what can we say? We must eat our words. Now let's talk a bit about Danilo as well, because over the last 2 games, the game against Dundee and the game today against Hearts, Danilo has made an absolutely huge difference to not just how we play on the attack, but to the team as a whole. I mean, look at the last 6 minutes of the game. It was the 89th minute, right? Danilo was off the park and Dessers was on. And Dessers, being the lazy guy who we've come to know through his time at Rangers, is standing way out of position on the right hand side of the pitch when clearly the ball is down the left, and you see Clement fucking screaming at him. The game is basically all but done. There's only a few minutes left. We're reaching the 90-minute mark, but you can tell that Clement will not accept this standard for the players. He's demanding that he gets his arse over to the left-hand side, and boy, he didn't look happy. But this is the difference between Danilo and Dessers. I mean, Danilo was running all day. He's in the right places. Look, and his confidence doesn't seem to be getting hurt with these. They're no massive missed chances. I had a few against Dundee, but then he got his goal. Today, he had a few good chances. I want to say he should be scoring them 100% of the time. But what I'm happy to see is that he's able to link up with people. You can just tell in the guy's attitude that he wants to play, wants to score goals. He wants to hang around after the game at Hampden and celebrate in front of all the fans. I mean, this is the sort of attitude that we've been crying out for Rangers players, and it's so good to see. And look, he's only just back, Danilo, so we're not even seeing him at 100%, but so far for what we've seen, and I'm sure you'll all agree, this man should be selected over Dessers 100% of the time. But it wasn't just him that made a difference. I think we're seeing a clear change in the midfield also. John Lundstrom is looking much fitter, much quicker, looking like he's actually enjoying the game again. The introduction of Ryan Jack is also giving that midfield a bit more fluency, and we're able to take the ball from back to front much quicker. Seema just runs for days up and down that left flank and is constantly an out ball. We've got Jack Butland who, when called upon, is continuously making great saves. I mean, that save he made where I think it was either the Hearts right back or right winger cut inside, had a shot, and Jack Butland gets his fingertips to it. It's a great save, and it was a great performance from start to finish from each individual in that park. And then you've got Big Balogun. I mean, I could go through every single player in the park, but unfortunately we're not going to have time. But I thought Balogun has made a difference when he comes in there. I really rate Balogun. I know there was a bit of outcry when he came in at the summer, and we're like, wait, why are we going back to Balogun? We need something new and improved. But I think Big Balogun's solid. I mean, when he gets on that ball and he drives up the park, it really, really helps us out at times. But I think he's quite solid defensively as well. I mean, he's always going to put his body in the line. Goldson, I think, had another good game also. And then the captain does what the captain does. I know it's been tough for us over the last couple of months, and people have been calling for Tavernier's head. Look, I was one of them when it was at the lowest point. I mean, you don't know who do you blame? You just didn't know. We were cursing Michael Beale, where the captain gets the brunt of it as well. We're calling out all the players, but I will say one thing, this I did not forget, is that what James Tavernier done today. We know he can do it, we know he's got that delivery, we know he's got the composure to put the penalties away when it matters. And the free kick, well, what do you say about that? I mean, it's absolutely sensational. The icing on the cake, the cherry on top. A good way to see the mighty Glasgow Rangers through to the cup final, where we need to go and decimate this Aberdeen team and continue to build and grow and look fierce in the park, look inspired and energetic. And I love the way we were moving the ball at times today. I mean, compared to what we've seen in previous games under Michael Beale, I mean, that was like watching Rangers play in the fast forward mode. Again, since Clement's come in, we've no seen much. Either's the odd back pass and side pass. We need it at times. Unfortunately, that's just what you need to do. You need to recycle the ball at times and try and keep it and hold on to it. But we're going forward so much quicker, and it's so much better to watch. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that game today, and not just because we won, but we played well. We approached it in the right manner, and I think that's what we'll get under Clement. He told us since we come in, look, I play this way, we play, we attack, we make chances. We don't put up with these bullshit side-to-side passes that don't accomplish anything. But another thing as well, we were eager and willing to put our body in the line at times today and win the ball back, win the midfield battles. That is something that we've been missing. Rangers players were actually getting in front of Hearts players, nicking the ball off them in crucial areas as well to stop their counter-attack. So let me know what you think about today's performance. I'm sure you're all as pleased as me. So it's off to the cup final we go, and hopefully things continue to look upward under Philippe Clement. Until next time, see you then.